Alrighty. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here tonight as we talk about our CTE, P-TECH, and STEAM programs. Just before we get started, I just want to go over a few housekeeping rules. My name is Roberta Crouch. I am a family engagement facilitator for the Office of Family Engagement. I oversee Parent University. And before we get started, I ask that everyone keep their phones and computers muted throughout the presentation, just so we don't get any background noise. And I ask that you save your questions until the end. And just in case your question is answered throughout the presentation, at the end, we will answer any questions you have. You can either put your questions in the chat and I can ask them to our presenters for you, or you can use the raise your hand feature and we'll unmute you and you can ask the question yourself. So we're gonna jump right in, and I would like to introduce Erin Noto. She is our executive director of CTE for the Syracuse City School District. She will be facilitating tonight with her team, and I will let her introduce them, and we will get started.
Thank you, Roberta. It's my pleasure and honor to be the Executive Director of Career and Technical Education, also known as CTE. You know how we love acronyms in education. And we are here today to talk about all the amazing P-TECH programs and the STEAM CTE programs that are offered in the Syracuse City School District. Here with me this evening are Wendy Ruiz, our P-TECH coordinator. Wendy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Wendy Ruiz, the coordinator for P-TECH at Syracuse City School District. And for those of you who don't know, P-TECH stands for Pathways in Technology Early College High School.
The acronyms. Thank you for outlining that. And also joining us, even though he didn't have to, so he has to get mad props for that, is Quindell Williams, our workforce and talent development coach here in the Syracuse City School District. Quindell?
Hello, thanks for being here. Quindell Williams with CTE Workforce Talent and Development Coach. Happy to be here and happy to help answer any questions that you have.
All right, great. So we're going to start off with sharing all of our P-TECH information. So Wendy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
You're on mute, Wendy.
There's always one in the group every single time.
There we go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and make this big so everybody can see this slideshow. Present. All right. So I'm going to be going over the P-TECH program. So for today, I'm going to go over the program, the partners, and what it means to be in P-TECH. And then I will turn it back over to Erin Noto, who is going to be going over the STEAM High School. So the Syracuse P-TECH program is very unique because it's mostly technical and career focused. So when these programs are created, they are a big conversation between the district, local industries, and college partners to really figure out what are the career pathways that are a high need in this area in central New York and potentially in other areas as well. And the students are in high school, and while they're in high school, they begin taking college courses. Pathways are P-TECH stands for Pathways in Technology Early College High School. And it's, as I mentioned, there's a lot of partners. There's partners between the high schools, community college, and an industry. What's really cool is all the students earn their high school diploma, but they also are earning an associate's degree, a 2-year degree from a local college in which they're gaining experience in the classroom. And this is at no cost to the students or their families. So just to get an overview, there's 4 programs in the P-TECH, and they are located at 4 different high schools. ITC was the first P-TECH program for the district, and it includes 2 pathways. One of them is mechanical technology, and the other one is electrical technology. Their partners are with Onondaga Community College, which means the students are earning in high school. They are working closely with Onondaga Community College in order to earn credits towards their 2-year degree. Henniger High School, what helps me remember is Henniger starts with an H, and the word health starts with an H. So they tend to have 3 different health programs in which students are earning their associate's degree towards a field in health. So clinical lab technology is through SUNY Broome College, and this one is online. And the other programs are health information technology, or HIT, and health professions. Both of those are partnered up with OCC. And a lot of the students, what they do is they can earn their degree, and some of the degree work prepares them to move on to a 4-year school. Public PSLA at Fowler has 2 programs. One of them is remotely piloted aircraft system, which is just a fancier way of saying it's the program that involves drones. The other program is Computer Information Systems, or CIS. RPAS is unique in that it's not, its partner is not with OCC, it is with Mohawk Valley Community College, while CIS program is through OCC. And the newest program is Corcoran, is a computer chip technology and production. This one is partnered up with Micron, and it's one of the newest P-Tech programs in the district. In which they only have 9th and 10th graders this year. So next year they will be accepting a new class of 9th grade students in that program. And these are just some of the business partners, and what they do is P-Tech students are often going to these programs to job site visits. Their partners or representatives come into the classrooms to give presentations. They participate in career coaches or mentoring with the students, and they help bring opportunities for students such as job shadowing. So the P-Tech curriculum is created as an effort between the district, between the college, and between the business partners. So what the college will do, will sit down with a high school in the terms of the teachers, the principals, and anybody that's involved with these students, and really look at the scope and sequence. So students begin taking their first college course in 10th grade. So, and it's dual credit for both high school and for college credit. And by the time they graduate, they can earn up to 24 college credits before they are a senior. So when they're walking across the stage with a senior, it is possible for students to have 24 college credits. The instructors, I think, are really, really unique because they're CTE instructors, which means many of them have come from industry. Many of them have spent years working at maybe some of these industry sites, a manufacturing company, working in other places where they've gotten actual work and experience, and they can take what they've practiced at work and take it to the classroom. So students are learning things that are relevant, they're real life. They're also part of steering committees, which means they're, even though they may not be in the field anymore, some of them are still active because they have meetings in which they're learning about new certifications, new technologies that are relevant to the field. A lot of them actually still might have a part-time job within the fields. So for instance, at Henniger, in one of the health professions program, we have one instructor who still is a nurse part-time. So any experience that they are getting outside during that, they can bring to the classroom. So in terms of the college student, I've mentioned that students take their first college class in 10th grade. During 11th grade, they are going to OCC twice a week for classes, whether that's a Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, depends. And then when students are still there, that's another class in the fall and in the spring. They're taking 2 different classes at OCC. And during 12th grade, they are up there 4 days a week. They have 1 class on Monday, Wednesday, and another class on Tuesday, Thursday. Sometimes their schedule permits them to take a 3rd class. But for the most part, during the senior year, students are up at campus taking 2 classes in the fall and 2 classes on the spring. So beginning this in 10th grade and continuing this in 11th grade and in 12th grade, students are earning up to 24 college credits. They can earn them by the time they graduate high school. So the way the P-Tech program is set up is that students can earn their 2-year degree within 6 years. So after their senior year, a lot of students choose to continue on this pathway. They choose to continue their courses up at OCC, or in the terms of the drone program, they will move on to MVCC, which is Mohawk Valley Community College. And they will continue the courses. And even though they've walked the stage for graduation, they are still considered a P-TECH student, so they can continue to take these courses for free under the P-TECH grant because there's still a scope and sequence. There's still more classes to take their 5th year or their 1st year after high school or their 6th year or their 2nd year after high school. And it will be paid for by the P-TECH grant because they started off as students there. So I think it's a great commitment to make for the students, for the families. I think it's a different way to do high school because they're earning college credit. There's a lot of communication between the district and the transition specialist. So when the students are up at OCC, they are not by themselves. There's college transition specialists, which are there to advocate for a student, help a student, point them in the right direction, provide them with tutoring supports at the high school or at the Learning Center at OCC. There's also summer bridge programs that can help with any gaps between the students that they might be missing from one year to another. There's also some wonderful staff at OCC who are dedicated just to work with these students who are taking college courses. And they're working with our P-TECH students. They help create their schedules. They help bring up any needs that might occur during their time. So it is a collaborative effort between everybody. As I mentioned before, there was that one big image of all these business partners that P-TECH's involved with. They start having this relationship with these business partners in 9th grade through career coaching, in which they come into maybe a cafeteria or maybe the classroom and they sit down and they really get to build a connection with these students. And the purpose is that these career coaches are here to talk to the students, answer questions, maybe do activities with them. Site visits are huge in 9th and 10th grade, in which they can learn more about the field. There's also job shadowing experiences and internships. Right now, we have a student from one of the P-TECH programs who is graduating a semester early before their 6th year this December with their associate's degree in mechanical technology. And they are currently taking an internship at a local industry, and they're able to count that as college credit as well. So they're getting paid, they're getting an internship, and they're getting college credit all at the same time. And they will be graduating this December with with a degree in mechanical technology. So our students are unique in that they earn credentials. They can learn, depending on the program, they might become CPR certified. They are the first set of students to get their pilot license through the drone program. A lot of our mechanical and electrical technology students, and eventually it's merging into other P-TECH programs, are starting to get their OSHA 10 certification, which is huge to add on a resume for a student looking for a job in the summer or right after high school. And overall, our students are ready not just for college, but for careers. So I'm going to turn it over now to Erin for STEAM.
Thank you, Wendy. So before I jump into going over all things STEAM related, I just want to say the district, Syracuse City School District, has made massive investment in career and technical education across the board. So starting this year, we currently offer 40 pathway options to all of our students across the district. That is, outside of New York City, the most program offerings in the Big Five. In addition to the program offerings that we have, the district is also, the board and the superintendent have really recognized that to run these programs, to make them rigorous, to make them relevant, and to make them really valuable to you as families, to our community, and to our kids, that they also need support. So, they've really dedicated a lot of time and thought and energy into making sure that these programs run with the proper support necessary. And so that I have to tip my hat to the district because it is innovative and is creative, and it's something that is I'm very passionate about. I'm sure you're going to hear that come out as I talk. I was a career and technical education student. I thought I was going to be the next Emeril Lagasse. I was going to be a culinary expert until I realized that they work on weekends, nights, and holidays. And so I decided that wasn't for me. But the beauty of that was that I got to find that out in high school instead of spending $60,000, $70,000 at the post-secondary level. So I also have to throw out that my dad was a CTE teacher for 30 years. So it's something that I'm very passionate about and I believe in wholeheartedly. And I say that because our data shows that our career and technical education students not only come to school more often, they're engaged, they have higher GPAs than non-CTE students, they get more college credits and more credits at high school in general. And it's just connecting them to the community and to the people that work and live in this community. And ultimately, that is our hope and our goal, is to prepare our students for wherever they want to go next, whether that be right into work or into a four-year college. And we want to keep them here in Syracuse, not with just a job, but with an actual career that they can sustain a quality level of life. And that's our hope for them. So that's my shtick before I get into all things STEAM. The Regional STEAM High School is brand new. I'm sure you have probably seen it splashed all over the news. And the reason why it's being splashed all over the news is because it is the first regional high school in New York State. What does that mean? That means that not only do Syracuse City School District students get to attend this, but we have also developed it in partnership with our Onondaga County BOCES, OCM BOCES. And so 60% of the students will be made up of Syracuse City School District kids, and then 40% will be made up of partnering districts in the OCM BOCES component districts. So it's located at the Fort Mill Central High School downtown. Syracuse is actually right next to behind ITC. And it is, I have to say, an absolutely gorgeous historical building, but also there's a really cool kind of like juxtaposition because you go into this beautiful historical building, but yet you go into all these labs that are state-of-the-art labs. So it's a really cool space for the kids to have. So we're going to offer lots of different programs across. There's 7 programs currently. And thank you, sorry. And sorry, lost my train of thought. Can you go back? One more. There we go. The curriculums, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how those curriculums were developed. And so once we go into that, I'm going to go into each of the programs separately. All right, so here are all of the component districts or partnering districts that would have the opportunity to send their students to the Regional STEAM High School. So you'll see that it's a variety of different districts. And the beauty of that is that students get to engage with people who don't live in the city. And so there's a different perspective that comes from that. And the kids are, right now we have a freshman class and they're just phenomenal young adults. And it's a pleasure to see them in action. Okay, so when I say state-of-the-art facilities and equipment, that's not a joke. We have been very fortunate to have a lot of business donors and a lot of support from our county. We had Amazon donate an amazing robotics and automation lab where kids will be able to engage in getting some credentials in FANUC robotics. Micron has been a huge donor to the building as well, and just really creating authentic learning spaces for all of our kids. The auditorium, which currently is not yet finished, but will be soon, is going to be one of the most beautiful auditoriums. You'll notice that there is an A in STEAM, and that stands for the arts. And so it's going to be a very arts-heavy building in terms of instrumental music, vocal music, dance, theater, production. So the students will not only engage in high-tech program, but also can engage in that creative art side as well. And the beauty of career and technical education across the board, not just specifically at STEAM, is going to be engaging in college coursework and mentoring and internships and job shadows. That is the hallmark of what career and technical education is, and the students at STEAM are no exception. They will get to engage with our business partners. They'll get to engage with our post-secondary partners and earn up to 16 to, I think, 36 college credits per pathway. Those options are available to them. And in addition to that, I recognize that, these are just our young people, and school is mostly social. If we remember our own high school days, it wasn't all about the classes that were offered, but it was about the kids and the friends that you were around. And so we do currently offer and will continue to offer sports, extracurricular activities after school and summer programming. So it really is a comprehensive building, grades 9 through 12. So the collaborators that we have It continues to grow, and it is unbelievable the amount of support that we have received from our community. And again, I'm going to preface this by saying this is not just for STEAM, this is for CTE programs across the district. But it's a way for kids to, as Wendy said, do school differently, to see themselves in businesses that they may never have seen themselves in, and to have them stay connected to what is available to them within our community. All right, so the programs that are offered, the career and technical education programs that are offered at the Regional STEAM High School are as follows. We have animation and game design, which I'm sure is not going to surprise anyone, was our most popular program at STEAM. Business entrepreneurship, computer chip technology and production, construction management, data analytics, music, movie and theater production, performing arts, robotics and automation, and the visual arts. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the animation and gaming design class. Again, as I said, this was a very popular program. One of the biggest supporters of this is Elite Gaming and Studio Central. And so these are the career opportunities that are available in animation and game design. And they're really going to have students who are in this program the opportunity to earn what we call micro-credentials. And those are credentials, industry-related credentials that we have determined and identified will give our students a competitive advantage to the next step in their life. So if they go right into the workforce, they're going to be Adobe certified. They're going to be certified in a variety of different credentialing places that are things that the industry is actually looking for. So our goal is always to have our students shine a little bit brighter than any other applicant. Business entrepreneurship, again, another very popular program, and it always warms my heart to see the ambition of our students in these classes. We just had the Commissioner of Education from the Department of Education come, and a young lady just talked about her dreams and aspirations of owning her own business as she grows up. So these are some career opportunities that are in that frame of work. And again, the kids are going to be able to engage not only in the curriculum that was written by industry professionals, but they're also going to be able to engage in those college level classes to make sure that they're ready and prepared to own their own business. Computer chip technology and production is the program that is been supported by Micron. In this particular program, the students will engage in a state-of-the-art lab that is equipped with Amatrol equipment, which is what the industry has told us will prepare our students to go right into the world of work or go on to an advanced degree in engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, which will then prepare them for positions not only in Micron. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a lot of companies in this particular area, Wolfspeed, Walk Air, that have the same skill set that they're looking for. So we developed the curriculum with those folks from those businesses to make sure that our kids are ready to go into that field of work. I will tell you, I've actually even been to the Micron place in Virginia. It's still confusing to me exactly what it is that they do, but it is an amazing facility and it's going to bring such growth to this particular region, and we are prepared to provide a workforce if they so choose to go there. Construction management, it was another, obviously, in order we have to build all the things before Micron actually gets here, and that includes the I-81 project, and it also includes housing and roads and schools and hospitals. So everything that is going to be created to support the growth that is happening in this area is going, kids in this program will engage in. And when we talk to our business partners in this particular vein of work, kids who go into construction or construction management, we also have a construction technology class over at Nottingham. They're going to be set for life. Their entire career can be spent preparing for the growth that is happening in this region. So it's incredibly exciting to know that we're providing the kids with these opportunities that they wouldn't necessarily get if they weren't engaging in these programs, and really preparing them to go into levels, not just at an entry level position, but at a higher level position, because they have all these credentials and the college level and the hands-on experience and the connection with the business industry partners that are coming into the buildings itself. Data analytics, this is a really interesting program. I guess I don't think much about it because I'm old, but the analytics piece that is happening in the technological world in which we live is unbelievable. And so this particular program, as you can see, all the career opportunities that go there. But as we rapidly develop in our technology, as the world turns, there's so much that goes into this kind of work, analyzing how things are sold online, and when you get clickbait and all that kind of stuff. This program in particular will prepare kids to take advantage of the work that's coming down the pipe. So we're trying to prepare our kids for positions that do not even yet exist. That is something when we sat down to write this 4-year curriculum, the common theme was, we think this is what's coming down, and this is what our kids will be engaging with as they move forward throughout their career. So it's real world data sets, really working on that data collection, and then interpreting that data in order to discover some patterns that may be happening and how to develop programming moving forward. If I could do it all over again, this is where I would have landed in high school: music, movie, and theater production. One of our large contributors to this particular program in the development of the equipment was Live Nation. Also Red House, any sort of theater and movie production company that you can think of has really been engaged in this particular program. And if you've ever been to a concert, it's not just about the people that you're going to see in concert, but the lighting and the music and the rigging and the sound machines. And we are going to have a state-of-the-art, that the auditorium will have a state-of-the-art sound system. And students in this particular program will work, for the most part, with all the backstage production pieces of music and movie and theater. So audio, lighting, production, stage, front of the house management, how to analyze the success of a show or what it's going to look like. So the lab in this particular room is absolutely massive, and it's also connected to the stage. They'll also work on set designs. We have a special costume lab where kids will work on developing costumes for whatever production is coming through. Prop management, a huge variety of work that can be done in this particular field. It's a large variety so that students can have experience in all the different veins of work in this particular program. Again, the arts piece is going to be huge at STEAM, performing arts, and you can see all of the opportunities and focuses of studies that will be offered at the regional STEAM high school. They actually, this week, we're having a guest artist from New York City come in to talk to the kids about what it is like to actually live in the world of the performing arts. She was a theater major and has done television as well. So she's coming in this week to work with our students. And that's really our hope for the kids, so they can kind of decipher what it is and what work they want to go into. It's something that interests them, and exposing them to people who actually do the work so they can figure out if that's what's the best fit for them. So the focus, the chorus rooms, the band rooms, the orchestra room are amazing. The dance studio is amazing and top of the line. They just finished laying down the flooring and all of the glass and walls, and so it's going to be a pretty exceptional opportunity for our kids. The robotics and automation lab. This was designed with Amazon. As you know, robotics and automation is up and coming in the world of work. In addition to Amazon, it also I don't know if anyone's been out to a restaurant and has been delivered their food by a robot yet. I just had that experience about 2 weeks ago. And it was a surreal experience. But in addition to that, hospitals, our local hospitals, as you know, we have St. Joe's, we have Crouse, we have Upstate, we have Community. All of the hospitals are really forward focused into getting into the automation piece of delivering services. That includes robots that will deliver medicine and robotics that do surgeries. So the students that are engaging in this particular program will have access to state-of-the-art equipment. They will get certified FANUC 1, FANUC 2, and FANUC 3, which are the robots themselves. So they'll become industry credentially certified right out of the gate after they graduate from high school, and really will be learning how to understand the robotic technology that is current, existing, and in the future. Visual arts for our very creative folks. As you can see, the career opportunities here. Our focus of study is going to be pretty deep in terms of art, photography, portfolio preparation. So 2 and 3 dimensional art. They'll get to work with local area artists to provide them with a skill set and all the job opportunities that are available. I think the beauty of career and technical education in general is that when I think of visual arts, I think, oh, of an artist. That's it. That's all I think about. And so by having these programs and exposing the kids to all of the jobs and careers that go with these particular CTE programs, it's really expanding their horizons so they can really figure out what they want to do moving forward. And new, so I do want to mention that the programs I just mentioned, for the most part, except for visual arts, are all New York State certified career and technical education programs. And we are going to be putting forth dance as a career and technical education approved program for the next school year. The students who engage in the dance program will not just do, ballet. It's going to be contemporary jazz, tap, ballet, hip hop, and choreography. And it's going to be hugely focused on giving them all of those experiences. And these are the, when I think of dance, you just think of someone who's a dancer, but there's so much more that goes into these programs, and the possibilities are endless when it comes to when you have this craft and you can take it out into the world. We're preparing them to do that. So the curriculum, as I mentioned, Dr. Jody Manning, who is the executive director of the STEAM High School, has spent years and years and years developing these curriculums. And basically, all the industry partners in every single program were brought together, and they really focused on, okay, what do our kids need to know by the time that they end this program? And then how do we break that down into a real life curriculum? So we have curriculum writers, the district supports, and their former teachers. And so they take all of the business partners' ideas and thoughts and skills and what they need to know, and then have developed a 4-year curriculum. If you're interested in what the actual curriculum is, all of the curriculums across all of our 40 programs are posted online. So if you really want to dive in, if you have nothing else to do, want to dive into exactly what it is the kids are going to be learning, everything that we have is posted online. So they're aligned to all the industry-related standards. But another really important part of career and technical education, and something that if anyone who works out in the world knows, that it's not just about the industry-related skills, it's also about preparing young people to become good coworkers. What does that look like? To show up to work, how to problem solve, how to, conflict resolution, and what happens when you don't get along with a coworker, and how should you handle that and manage that, and providing them with the strategies to be good employees. And so that's another huge part of the work that we do in career and technical education. And then again, as I said, every single pathway and program will earn national credentials, they will earn college credit, and they can actually up to get to a college degree. So the career ready practices that we focus on across all of our 40 programs. And so this work starts in 9th grade, and they work and practice with our business industry partners, the CTE instructors, as well as the English, math, science, and social studies teachers are preaching these career ready practices consistently throughout their 4 years, in the hopes that by the time they graduate from high school, they are prepared to go into the world of work. So again, as I said, what does the data tell us? Kids who enroll in a CTE pathway, and I will also say our P-TECH pathways, with the exception of one, are also all CTE pathways approved by New York State. Increased engagement, better attendance, higher GPAs, higher graduation rates, and that they're career and college ready. So really the district is focusing on preparing them to support them in whatever they choose to do at the next step. Some other things I want to mention before we move on, because we're almost finished with the information throwing part of today's session. We are having a very large career technical education expo It's going to be located at the SRC Arena at OCC. And the beauty of this event is that it's going to have all 40 programs with the teachers there so you can explore if you want to bring your student in and hit up some of the opportunities that they have. They can engage. That's going to be from 4:30 to 6:30 on October 28th. So it's coming right up. In addition to that, once we finish up with the CTE Expo, we're going to open up the doors to all of our buildings. So if you have a student who may be interested in a program at PSLA and a program interested at STEAM, you can come and tour the labs and the spaces and also talk to the teachers and kind of get to know the teachers a little bit and the spaces available. And we can talk to you a little bit more in depth about the offerings of each program. And I recognize that the registration process for getting high school choice is confusing. And so there will be additional video chats with the director of registration, and those are going to be on November 4th and November 6th. I can also share that applications for high school choice, it's not just career and technical education that the application includes. It also includes registration into the high school, maybe perhaps your feeder high school, or maybe you're interested in IB programming over at Corcoran. So our 8th graders are asked to complete the application for whatever school they want to go to, whether it be a CT program, their feeder school, or other options like IB or the Navy program. Let's see. What else did I want to share before I wrapped it up? So the application is going to be available November 17th. So be on the lookout for that. We will have paper copies available in addition to online application as well. So those will be open and available to you on November 17th. And the actual due date to submit your application is going to be on January 28th. The lottery. So what happens is all the kids who are interested in the CTE or P-TECH program are entered into a lottery. And so that is going to be run in March. And then a letter will be sent home. A letter of enrollment will be sent in April. And I think that's all I had. So you want to answer some questions now? Let me go to the chat. Okay.
I can read them for you if you want.
Oh, great.
Okay, I'm doing double because I'm having some technical difficulties. So I'm actually on my phone and my laptop, but we got this. So the first question that we had in the chat was, do STEAM students still qualify for Say Yes?
Adam, that's an absolutely amazing question. And at this point, that has yet to be determined because we haven't reached that point yet. But my understanding is that is in the works. And yes, students who engage in the STEAM school will be available to say yes at this time. Because we only have freshmen right now, so we still have a couple more years to work through those processes. But my understanding is that it will follow the same suit as our students in the other buildings.
Thank you. In what way P-TECH is different from STEAM, as both of them are CTE and offer college level credits and career ready industry programs?
So really, and Wendy, you can jump in. From my perspective, the really largest difference is that P-TECH students will be able to engage and stay enrolled in the Syracuse City School District through year 5 and year 6. So once they graduate from high school, and all those classes that they take, the books that they have, everything that is included in going to college after they graduate from high school will be paid for and funded through the district and the grant. Did I miss anything, Wendy?
No, that's what I was going to say. I also think that STEAM has the biggest difference for me is the type of pathways involved. Like P-TECH tends to have a lot of certain pathways, but what's unique about STEAM is the arts. The students have a lot of access to it. Being in the building and having that exposure, I think is very unique. So while they may be earning college credit, which I think is great, the P-TECH provides an entire degree for free.
Great. Could you direct to the information regarding the pathways for STEAM students to earn college credits during their 4 years?
All of the information in terms of what college credits are available and every single pathway that we offer across the district is posted online. So if you go to the website and you go under departments to CTE, that will lead you to the CTE directed website. And everything that you would possibly want to know about all of the programs that we offer is found on the website, including our college credits, including our industry partners, including all of the curriculums. Like I said, the 4 years of curriculum are also posted on there. It also includes our employability profile, which are the skills we're trying to prepare our students to be ready for once they graduate. So there's a lot of information on the website, and that is intentional to provide you as much opportunity to really dive in and research, because we know it's a big decision for our kids.
And they shared in the chat all the CTE expos, information, and posters. Can students apply to multiple CTE programs in schools?
They can. So students can apply to up to 2 programs that they may be interested in addition to their high school, like if they're a feeder school to Henniger, Corcoran, or Nottingham as well, or IB. So yes, it doesn't matter where you live. Your child can engage in any pathway that's available to them across the entire 6th district and the 6 high schools that we have.
Great. What is the process if students enter a program but don't like it and want to switch the next year?
I want to switch to the next year. So this gets a little bit tricky, Nicole, just because we have found that students don't necessarily want to move from school to school. So what we do is we really work really hard, and we're working even harder this year to make sure that the students have as much information as possible is to make an informed decision. So we start career and technical education, I hope you know this, in the middle school. And so we work really hard. We've just been into all of the buildings to prepare our kids for the expo. We will go back into the buildings after the expo and to meet with the kids to answer any questions they may have. And we're looking at developing that middle school curriculum even deeper into the programs in which we offer. So typically what happens is if a student attends, let's say they're going to PSLA, they got into the cosmetology program at PSLA, and they've decided within the first marking period that this wasn't for them. We take it on a kid by kid basis. Okay, why are you not interested in the program? What is it about the program? And then we look in-house if there are any other programs within that particular building. And we bring all the parents in anytime a kid expresses that they may not be interested in. That's a one-on-one conversation with the parent and the student, the school counselor, the school principal, and someone from my department to try to brainstorm and try to get them to where they do want to be.
Thank you. How do charter school students get into STEAM school?
So through the application process. So once that application is available on the 17th of November, those applications are submitted and our registration department filters through all of those students. We had quite a few charter school students come back to the Syracuse City School District to go to STEAM this year.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
If my student doesn't get into their preferred program through the lottery, would there be another opportunity to transfer in a following year?
So Kyle, that's we take that as a kid by kid basis, and of course we include the parents, guardians, and families in those conversations. I will say the students get 2 choices, and then if they don't get into one of their 2 choices, they might be put on a wait list. And sometimes kids get there and they don't want to do it anymore, and then the kid gets moved up from the wait list. I do also want to break this myth that kids aren't getting into their programs. We had 897 8th graders last year apply to be in not apply, but wanted to be in a CTE pathway. And of those 890 some odd students, 777 of those kids got into their first or second choice. So there's some rumors going around that there's a lot of kids that don't get what they want. And that's just untrue. So what happens is, and what we do in the work once kids get into the programs over the summer, is that if your child doesn't get their first or second choice, my team will call you and say, hey, listen, Wendy didn't get into her first or second choice. Here are some available spots programs that we do have space in. Are you interested in any of those? So we really try to offer you as much as we possibly can as we register kids into the programs.
Great. Can students who do not take the performing arts path still participate in band and chorus?
Sure can. They will have the same opportunities as the other students in the pathway.
If it's a lottery system to get into these programs, is there any advantage to applying earlier versus just making the deadline in January?
Great question. No. There's not. So all of the applications come in, and then as I'm sure you can imagine, with over 14 to 1,500 eighth graders just in our district, and now we've opened it up to 40% coming in from the partnering districts. There's a lot of inputting of data that has to go in to the Right Reason platform that we use for the lottery. So it's staggered, so we get them all in. The lottery actually doesn't even run until March because we want to make sure that we have everyone's information in correctly. So the deadline is at the end of January, so that gives us time to make sure we've inputted all of your child's choices. And then the lottery it's very complicated. Thank goodness I don't have Director Goodrich's job. But that platform, once all the input of the information is put in, then that lottery is run. So there's no advantage to entering early versus entering on the last day.
In what way can a student best prepare themselves to be admitted into the STEAM school?
Good question. I think really it's just because we have so much to offer our students, which I think is absolutely amazing, and I wish I could tout it in every space of the world of how amazing the district is in terms of getting kids what they need. I think, the parent and the communities and the families have having conversations with your child about what interests them, and then sharing with them all the opportunities that they can engage in. And I know that, like I said, we do that starting in 6th grade, but it takes all of us to share with the kids, what really do you get excited about? Like, what makes you, where do you think you want to be? And just having conversations with your child about that, I think really helps support the work that we're trying to do while they're at school.
Okay. Can you email me a copy of this PowerPoint you presented? I know Quindell put the website on there. I don't know if it's on the website or.
Yeah, the PowerPoints will be located on the website. So
Right.
after the meeting, and also it will be on there in several different languages as well.
Great. My son is in Huntington in 6th grade. Do you have this information in Spanish?
Spanish and a variety of other languages as well.
Okay. Will there be drama clubs, band, theater, works, etc., available to all STEAM school students, no matter what program they are in?
Yeah, so currently right now the STEAM school runs on a block schedule, and which is amazing because it provides us a little bit more flexibility in terms of master scheduling. But it also, there's a chunk in the middle of the day that is called advisory, and the vision that Principal Straub has for that advisory time is for students to engage in those other things that are offered across the building. In addition to that, there'll be after school clubs, and all of the things that you would have in high school are going to be mirrored and modeled exactly at STEAM. So no kid will have one opportunity over the other.
And as far as sports go, will STEAM have their own school or own team, or will they have to combine with a nearby school like ITC?
Currently, right now, my understanding is that they can engage in sports. Now, so because they're just starting this year as a freshman class, there's not enough students to run those athletic pieces on their own. By the time we get to their senior year, there's going to be 1,000 students in the building. So that is something that Director Long, the AD director, is working on and making sure that those opportunities are available. But my guess would be by the time we get into be full house, that there'll be programs of their own.
Can you please tell me the date and time for the application process?
The date, the applications will be made available to everyone on the 17th of November. And the due date will be January 28th. And the times would just be, those submissions will be during working hours.
Okay, great. We got a thumbs up. We got a thank you. And then how many grades will the STEAM school go up to?
Christian, yeah, so it'll be a full 9 through 12 building. Eventually, we're doing the phase-in model for this particular school year, we only have freshmen. Next year, we'll have freshmen and sophomores. Freshmen, sophomores, juniors the following year, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors the following year after that. So we're laddering up. You're
All
welcome.
right. Got a thumbs up.
All right, Christian, thanks.
Yes, so that's all the questions I see in the chat. If anyone has any other questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat, or you can raise your hand and we'll unmute you, or Rachel will unmute you, because I don't think anything that on my side works. To ask your question. We got another thank you. I don't see any hands raised. Oh, that's Wendell. Okay, he's giving the CTE events. Thank you, Wendell.
I also, before we pop off, I just want to say thank you, Liberta, to you and the Office of Family Engagement for setting this all up. If anyone on the call has any questions, again, I encourage you to come to our expo on next Tuesday. If you're unable to come, we are always available. All of our contact information is on the website. Please feel free to reach out. We know that this is an important decision and you want to be as informed as possible, and we want to get the right kids in the right seats. So however we can be helpful to you and your family in making a decision for your student, we're here to be as helpful as possible.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for giving us this opportunity to get this information out to families. This is recorded, so it will be posted on the Family Engagement website. I think we're going to also send it to CTE so they can post it on their website so you can go back and look at it. We just had another question. How are the children chosen for the school?
So what happens, Lolita, is your student will fill out an application for the programs in which they may be interested in. And then once we receive all the applications, it goes through a lottery system. So again, how the lottery system works is a very complicated process. It's like an electronic platform that the best way I can explain it is it's like, like a bingo ball roller. Like the kids who want cosmetology, it all goes, everyone gets a ball, and then the lottery randomly selects them into the program itself. That's a very watered down version of my understanding of how that process works. But Director Goodrich, just so you know, is going to be offering, she can speak to that way better than I can. And so if you have, Lolita, if you have time on those registration ones with Director Goodrich, if you have more questions about that, I encourage you to join that chat session too.
Yep, those are the first week in November. And these are all recorded, so you can always go back. We are having this session again on Thursday at 12. So if you, thank you, Quindell. If you think of a question and you can always reach out to CTE, but you can hop on again Thursday if you're available and you can ask it then. I want to thank CTE so much for coming and explaining all these great programs for your families. I want to thank you guys for joining us and asking some wonderful questions. And everyone have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.